Hi, everyone. My name is Craig Limoli. I'm the founder, CEO of Wellsheet. Excited to show you how we're applying the AI to make electronic health records much more physician-friendly. So I founded the company after working at IBM in their Watson Health division. I was a strategy consultant there, working on Watson Health-driven products, strategic partnerships with pharmaceutical companies. And that's where I saw the immense frustration that physicians had with existing technologies, be it the electronic health records, which were not designed for them, or new powerful solutions like Watson that were encumbered by old integration methodologies and often added complexity to physician workflow instead of supporting their needs. So I saw the scale and severity of these challenges, as well as the opening up of APIs by the EHR vendors, which allowed for a much more seamless integration into existing EHR workflow that really created an opportunity to make a much more seamless solution for our providers. I partnered with Chuck and John Paul to bring that vision to life, and excited to share that with you now. So the way that we present ourselves to our users is directly within the existing electronic health record system. So we're integrated via the FHIR standard, which is the latest and greatest in interoperability that allows for us to have a really seamless experience for our end users. So physicians can access Wellsheet with the click of a button from within the existing EHR system. You can see on the top and to the left the EMR wrapper. This is Cerner, for example, and Wellsheet is just a button. And this is a standard integration methodology, which is a really exciting advancement because it feels like a feature for the end user, and it tremendously reduces the implementation timeline for the health system. So with FHIR-based API integration, you can deploy an application in 4 to 6 weeks. And the effort that's required to do that is, instead of the health system having to put up a IT team to build the interfaces to connect to a new technology, the EHR vendor is actually on the hook to ensure that those APIs are consistent from one deployment to the next. And so Epic and Cerner ensure that the mappings are in place for us to be able to deploy our technology quickly and easily for our clients. And then it also enables that really seamless access that I showed on the previous slide. And one of our biggest clients, RW.Barnabas Health in New Jersey, actually said that after going through a FHIR API-based deployment, they're not entertaining other integration methodologies. So it's a really powerful, really the future of EMR integration that we are excited to be taking advantage of. So our technology at its core is really about predicting the content that a particular physician needs to know to treat a particular patient. So we take in a wide variety of inputs. This is largely driven by the information that we're extracting from the EMR based on that integration. So we have full access to the complete patient chart, as well as the physician's information, their specialty, their past practice patterns, and also how they've interacted with our product previously. So we track and measure every interaction that they have and allow for the end users to very easily customize the way that our views are presented to them, so we can continuously optimize this presentation of information. So it's really a learning system that's designed to passively capture feedback as physicians engage with our product. And this is just a quick view on congestive heart failure, us surfacing the most relevant content that a cardiologist, for example, would need to know about a patient with CHF. Not only do we show this in a really nice longitudinal format, but we also identify potential next steps in treatment that make sense based on the patient's values. So you can see here some of the categories of benefits that we provide. So physician satisfaction and efficiency, that really visualizing that EHR content to meet a provider's needs. Workflow support, throughput, really coordinating care across a team, multidisciplinary, to help ensure that the patient is receiving care in a timely manner and that the full care team is informed about the next steps that need to happen for the patient to move them forward. And then finally, patient matching, population health, we actually are able to pull together. We have really extensive access to the patient chart, which allows us to determine if a patient is eligible for a clinical trial, for example, or a standard of care procedure that would help to achieve quality objectives for the organizations that we work with. So for RW.Barnabas, we applied this technology for the identification of patients for TAVR, transaortic valve replacement surgery, which is a life-saving procedure that is difficult for physicians to manage and track criteria for, given that those criteria are embedded as free text in echocardiogram reports. So we pull all of that data together in a single view for the physician and make a recommendation for them to evaluate whether that patient is a good fit for that standard of care procedure or a clinical trial to enroll them in. And we actually can link that to an action which then activates the right resource within the organization to have that patient further evaluated, whether it's the research staff or a consulting cardiologist, for example. So with this, these value propositions, we were able to deliver some really exciting results, tremendous growth in usage. We started with about 10 users at RW.Barnabas at the beginning of the year, grew to over 500 based on word of mouth, excitement about the product. We conducted a survey across multiple hospitals showing a really high NPS compared to the EHR vendors, which are typically in this single digits. So kind of a low bar, but definitely a big improvement, which is exciting. And then a 40% reduction in EMR. So we tracked this based on the time physicians were spending in the platform based on reporting that existed in the EMR systems. So this was really exciting to see that physicians were able to then spend more time with their patients and allow them to have better interactions with the patients that they care for. And then finally, improvement in identification and treatment of patients who actually were clinically indicated for the TAVR procedure. Yeah, it's not extending. Oh, good, perfect. So I'll go ahead and answer the questions here. And by the way, I didn't put a contact slide up there. I should have. So if anyone wants to get in contact with me, my email address is just craig@wellsheet.com. So I love that, definitely. Actually, honestly, I do believe that that's the future. So voice-based interactions are a tremendous advancement for the industry. Really excited about that. But in every other industry vertical have never become the primary method of interacting with information. I do think with the complexity of healthcare information that physicians are going to need to have some sort of visual interface that they can engage with that just works much better for them than the existing EMR systems. And so our vision for the industry is actually that the EMRs are going to really kind of fade into the background as a system of record really driving that underlying information architecture. And then systems like Wellsheet, Sakara, hopefully, will come together and provide a ton of value on top of that as really the engagement layer for physicians. I think that's for the last organization. That's all right?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.